What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I just got out of Aquaman. Let's talk about it. So I'll be honest, going into this movie, I was really nervous for this movie. I really haven't been a big fan of the DC films so far. Just never really agreed with Zack Snyder's vision for the characters. I thought Justice League was a complete mess from head to toe. But I was hoping for the best just because this is directed by James Wan, and James Wan is easily one of the best directors working in Hollywood today. I absolutely love James Wan. First he directed Saw, and then The Conjuring, and then the Insidious films, and I just love those films. So when I heard he was directing this movie, I got really excited because we actually have a director with a lot of talent on this movie. Now that I have seen Aquaman, I can say it is a very good movie. I just really enjoyed this movie. It is a ton of fun, and James Wan did one hell of a job directing this movie, and I cannot wait for the future of the DC films, which is something that I haven't said in a very long time. And yeah, this movie is just a blast. It is fun. It can be a bit cheesy at times, but that's part of the fun of it. James Wan knew he was making a cheesy film, and he embraced that. Easily my favorite thing in the movie is Jason Momoa, who obviously plays the character of Arthur Curry / Aquaman. Jason Momoa was perfect in this role. I couldn't even choose anyone better to play Aquaman. He is Aquaman himself. Like, he took this character and put his own little spin on it, and he's just amazing to watch in this movie. And also, I'm kind of surprised to say, but I loved Amber Heard in this movie, which is honestly kind of surprising because I really didn't like her small scene in Justice League at all. It just seemed like her entire character was just going to be pretty boring. But her character in this movie is actually very interesting, and I really enjoyed her character in this movie as well. This is definitely not like Zack Snyder DC films. This is actually funny at times, and it's got a ton of color. This movie is bursting with color, and I love that. That is something that I've been saying DC should definitely do for a very long time, because before this movie, in most of their films, it just had like a dark color palette, and I didn't really like that. But this movie is bursting with colors. But this movie is super well directed, especially the fight scenes. The fight scenes are incredible to watch. They are very well shot, and it's a lot of wide shots, which I love wide shots in my action scenes. And yeah, all the action scenes are just brilliant and they're well shot. One of the opening scenes in this movie is actually a fight scene taking place inside a lighthouse, and it really set the tone for all of the other fight scenes. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, the fight scenes in this are some of the best choreographed and shot fight scenes that I've seen in a superhero film to date. And something else that I want to mention with this movie is, considering this movie is completely CGI and special effects, because most of it does take place underwater, and all of those underwater scenes are completely special effects, it's incredible. I mean, the special effects in this movie are almost flawless, and it's mind-blowing considering that this entire movie is almost special effects. And yeah, congratulations to the special effects team on this movie, because they killed it. And this movie's like 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I'm not sure the actual length, but it's a pretty long movie. I never really felt bored with the movie. I was entertained throughout the entire runtime, and I never really cared how much time was left in the movie because I just enjoyed it all. So for a 2 hour and 20 minute movie to keep me entertained through almost the entire runtime is definitely very good. But just because I really enjoyed this movie doesn't mean it's a perfect movie. I definitely have some problems with the movie, and now we are about to talk about them. My main problem with the movie would probably be the pacing of the movie. At some points, the pacing is kind of slow, and at some points it's kind of fast. And yeah, some of the pacing was just kind of off to me, especially in the first half. This movie definitely starts off pretty rough. I don't know, I just didn't really like the first half, but trust me, the second half, it's pretty fun. It is just cheesy fun in the second half, and I loved it. But the first half definitely has a lot of pacing issues, especially with scenes with young Arthur Curry. Those scenes for me definitely had pacing issues. And another thing that this movie, I just kind of got to mention it, I didn't hate it, but the villains in the movie, there are technically 2 villains in the movie. One of those would be Ocean Master and the other is Black Manta. My main problem with Ocean Master, he was just a very cliche villain, and a lot of his dialogue was pretty cheesy, but then again, I think that was the intent of James Wan. But for me, his dialogue just came off cheesy a bit, and he was a bit cliche in my book. But that's not to say that he was a bad villain. He was definitely one of the better villains so far that DC had, because you actually understood like his character and you kind of understood where he was coming from. And then we go on to Black Manta. One Black Manta in the movie, he's fine. He's good, but he's definitely not in the movie for that much. But not to spoil anything, but there was probably a reason why he wasn't in the movie that much. So maybe I'm excited to see him in future films. I don't know. But in this movie, he just wasn't in it that much. But they did set his character up pretty well in the movie. And yeah, I really did enjoy his character setup. I just wish we had more of Black Manta, because he's definitely a great villain. But I'm excited to possibly see him in future films. But at the end of the day, Aquaman is a colorful, fun adventure, very well directed, very well shot, and I really enjoyed the movie. But it does have a couple pacing issues and a couple of villain problems that I had with the movie. Besides that, Aquaman is easily one of the better DC films, if not the best in my opinion, and I'm gonna give Aquaman a B+. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely go check out Aquaman if you haven't already. I think it comes out tomorrow officially, I'm not sure, but definitely go check it out. It's definitely a very good movie. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a good one.